Good afternoon. This is a video response to Screencast 3, Reading Comprehension Strategies. There are 5 major reading comprehension strategies, and these strategies are flexible and applicable across content areas. Teachers need to model and teach these strategies to help their students scaffold reading assignments, and so that students can learn these strategies and become metacognitive about their reading so that they can create and apply reading plans for themselves in the future to become readers in the future. Can't just read the assignments in class and then move on with your life as though you'll never read again. You have to build these plans and strategies for yourself to learn how to become a reader in life. So these 5 major strategies are activating prior knowledge, bringing in the existing schemas that a person has to assimilate and accommodate new information, asking questions before and during reading, analyzing the structure of a text to understand the organization and flow of the reading, visualizing or creating images for what you're reading, and last, summarizing so that you can sort through the text and kind of get the gist of what you're reading. So these strategies should be applied before, during, and after reading. So what I was thinking about while I was listening to this screencast and while I've been doing my reading for this module, I was thinking that of all these strategies and activities, there's so many applications, and every good reader has their own set of strategies that they go back to when they're reading a particularly difficult text. For instance, when I'm struggling to read a text, I like to read out loud to myself because it can really help me focus. I've noticed a lot of times that when I'm reading through a text, I can be thinking of something completely different, and I'll get to the bottom of a page and not know anything that I read. And so a good way to keep myself focused is by reading out loud, because it kind of activates my brain a little bit more and activates my hearing, and more of my senses are focused on reading. Another thing is that different reading strategies are applied better to different types of text. For instance, when I read, say, like a physics or a chemistry textbook, I like to stop really often and work through the examples to understand how the problem solving works for myself rather than just reading about problem solving. But then when I read, like, say, an academic journal, a scientific article in an academic journal, I like to read the abstract, the introduction, the discussion, and then look through the figures and graphs. But sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes I have to go back and read through the methods, if I need to clarify what was going on or what was happening. Finally, what I thought was particularly fascinating about the collection of videos on the teaching channel was that these videos showed people thinking outside of the box about reading. And so I guess what that kind of made me think of is how can I create for my own classes and for my own students ways to think outside of the box about reading their biology textbook or reading this article on whatever, like New York Times, about something that's happening in biology. So there's got to be ways to create more tangible resources to think outside of the box of reading, rather than being like, as you read, try to picture what's happening. This graphic novelist draws what's happening while you're reading. So it's an interesting thing to think about for my own classes, and I think that there are definitely some strategies that I'm going to need to work on for myself, not reading strategies necessarily, but strategies that I can use to make reading more tangible and more physical, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Such as in the algebra video, she was showing the mixing problem rather than asking her students to imagine what the mixing problem looks like as they read it. She literally showed it. And I thought that was a really fascinating theme in the videos, and something that I should definitely try and figure out for my own classes, and how I can show concepts that we're going over and readings that we're doing. Thank you.